how livetrace works is it recognizes the blacks and whites in the photograph. Now, that's not too bad. The background is a little bit grayish. You know, I could probably go over to the window where there's a bit more sunlight. Well, there's not much sunlight today, but a little bit more natural light coming in and take the photograph. And I tried my best just to get the kind of image that I wanted on its own. Okay. So what I did then was I emailed it to myself, and then I clicked here, download, to download it. And you can see on the Mac, it'll pop up down here. If I click in here and go show in Finder, okay, so there it is. There's two of them actually there. So Illustrator, you have been doing a little bit of this already in other classes. This is the icon for Illustrator down here. The easiest way to open that in Illustrator is if I click on the image here and drag it down and put it over the Illustrator icon, it'll open up in Illustrator. Now it's big, okay, because the quality, I set my camera to, I have it set to a fairly decent quality. So I'm just gonna, I do a lot of keyboard commands, so any keyboard commands that I do, I'll call out, I'll tell you what I'm doing. If I hit Command, which is this button here on the keyboard, CMD, and it has a kind of squiggly thing next to it, and if I hit minus, and I keep hitting minus, it's just going to zoom out on that. Now I can leave it like that. I'm just going to leave it like that for now, even though this line here is my page, and then this is my image, but it's fine. It's going to work out okay. So what I'm going to do is I'll click on the image. Actually, first of all, I'll make sure by default you'll more than likely be on, see this selection tool up here. Oh, can you guys let me drag this over? It's kind of off the screen there. Okay, so I'll probably be on this selection tool, but if I'm not, I'll click on it. Now, another thing that's interesting in Illustrator, I'm not sure if Owen explained this to you, but if I hover over any of these tools, you'll notice that, say this rectangle tool here, it says rectangle tool and then there's an M in brackets after it. So if I want to get to that rectangle tool quickly, I can hit the M on my keyboard and I'll hop to it. Sorry, it's just bringing up some little notices there. If I want to go to the brush tool, I'll hit B. This selection tool is V. Now you'll start to get used to these as the year goes on, and you'll notice in most of these programs, Photoshop is the same. It has the same keyboard commands. So start to notice these, because what you'll notice is you're probably only going to use 5 or 6 tools, and you'll be going from selection to brush. Select, you'll be hitting B and B and B and B and then M or whatever, and you kind of only go around a few, and it just kind of speeds up your work. So I've gone to this selection tool, or I'll hit V, and I'm going to click on the image, and I'll know that I've selected it because there'll be like a blue kind of line around the outside. Okay. The minute I do that, Illustrator recognizes that I've clicked on a photograph or some sort of scanned in image. And you'll notice up the top here, some selections pop up, or some options. What I'm looking for is this one called image trace. Now, there are, if you notice, next to image trace is a little arrow there. I can click in there and there's some options in there. But for now, we won't deal with the options just yet. I'm just going to click on this big button here that says image trace, and we'll see what happens. Now, it's giving me a warning. It's saying tracing may proceed slowly with this large image. Would you like to continue? I'm going to continue. It's a relatively big image, and it's just warning me. If you had it, it's actually not that big. If you had a huge, big thing that you scanned in, it might take a long time to trace. But I'm going to click OK, and you'll see what happens. It doesn't actually take that long. So yeah, it's going through. What it's looking for is the differences in blacks and whites. Okay, so this is why I was saying, if you take a photo or you scan in your picture, and say there's a big grey shadow across one side, you know, you're taking the photo and the shadow of your arm is all over the picture, it's going to start recognizing those bits. So try to have a fairly decent sort of black and white image. Okay, so that's the first bit. We click on image trace, and then you'll see the options up here have changed a little bit. So we need to now click on this one, expand. So it converts the object that you've just done into what's called paths, okay? So we click on it, and let me just zoom in to show you. I'm just going to click off it. Can you see? I don't know if you can see. It doesn't really show up on the screen there, but each of the, there, you can kind of see it there. Now the drawing, can you guys see that? There's kind of like little dots and lines making up the drawing. So I'm going to zoom out. So that's the second thing you do. So the first thing is you click on the big button image trace, then you click on expand. Now what's happened is it's turned that drawing into a vector drawing. So now it's not made up out of pixels anymore, it's made up of points and lines. The next thing I need to do, this is all grouped together. Okay, so I can't kind of isolate the bits that I want. So I need to go up to Object and Ungroup. Okay, and then I'm just going to click kind of out here. So I can click on now kind of individual bits of that. What I'm going to do is this kind of, let me zoom out so you can see everything. This white background here, I'll just move it over so you can actually see it there. Like that's one whole piece. You know, like Illustrator, you know, it's not a human mind, so what it's doing is it's turning all of the bits into a vector drawing, including this white background bit. Now I don't need that. I'm just going to hit backspace, or I'm going to hit delete, and I'm going to get rid of that. These bits in here, you know, that's a bit on its own. I'm going to put it back. You know, all of these bits, you might decide that you want them, or you might decide that you want to delete them. I'll just do them all individually. I'm going to delete them all. Let's just get rid of them. I don't need them. Okay, so now if you look at back to Noah's drawing in the notebook, I've got a sort of vectorized version of that drawing. Now it's way too big. I'm going to scale it down to fit on that page. So to do that, again, I'm still on the selection tool. The easiest way is if I click and see the way I'm sort of dragging. Can you guys see that? So I click up here and I drag over all of the shapes, and that lets me select them all. Okay. Now to get this smaller, did Owen talk to you about scale? Did you scale things up and down and you hold down shift? Yeah. Okay, because I won't hold down shift and let me scale this. Okay, so now I've everything selected. If you're scaling, always come over to the corner here, and what you're looking for is this arrow will start to change when it's like, see the way it's like a double arrow there? You see that? That's for tilting things around. Okay. If I want to make it smaller, I can come in and I'll keep going until I get this double arrow. Can you see that? So it's just a tiny little shift. And if I don't hold down shift, what happens is we can have a big fat kind of version of it. Let me undo. Okay, I'm going to go edit, undo. When I come in and I get my double arrow like this, and when I hold down shift, so shift is this button. It looks like it has an up arrow on it and it's above control. I'm going to hold that down. When I do that and start to scale, it keeps the proportions. Okay, so it doesn't kind of get all squished and warped. So I'm going to scale it down like that, and then I'm going to drag it over. Come on, computer. I'll hold down shift again. I just want it a little bit smaller. Okay, so there's a vectorized version of Noah's drawing. Okay. Okay, that's as much as I'm going to show you today. There's things that we can do with those vectorized drawings. You know, I can change the color of these. I could do what's called reversing it out. Let's say I wanted this to be white shapes on a black background. You know, I might decide, you know, I want to alter this a bit. I'm going to have his arm going down here, and I kind of want this head. You know, I kind of want the head a bit bigger, you know, but then you run into issues that now I've made his head bigger, the lines look a bit fatter, so maybe that's not going to work. But there are things you can do with this, but that's as much as I'm going to show you today. So I'll just stop this video. Hello.